what's tonight? Sunday night comic book hangout. It's the format for these goes like this. At the beginning, I review a comic, and when I'm reviewing a comic, I just look at the comic, and then once I'm done with the comic, then I'm done with the review, then it turns into just a regular hangout, and I just flip through it. So anyway, this is from the True Believers line. This is Wolverine. I actually tricked myself on it. I got really, really confused. Okay, so it says February '90, so I was like, wait a minute. Mark Silvestri was on Wolverine in February of 1990. Then I remember this is issue 90, but usually they have like a year. I don't see it. I don't see I'm going to guess this was like 1994, 93 or 94. This is actually the Hildebrandt brothers. They used to do a lot of like Conan type of stuff. So anyway, this book was dope. It's I've been doing a lot of these True Believers, and they also take place in like around '93, where Sabretooth was in the X Mansion, and he wore these like he had to wear where is it? He had to wear like this face mask and these metal mittens. He had to wear this mask right here and these mittens, and this one was this is from the Wolverine. This is with Larry Hama and Adam Kubert. So this is the Kubert that I really liked. Andy, like I respect his stuff and I've enjoyed some of his stuff, but Adam to me is like the experimental one. And I think he was also the one who ended up working on Ultimate X-Men and doing a lot of experimental stuff. Now he does like I think he's the one who did Spider-Man with Chip Zdarsky, which is okay-ish. I think he's kind of in that older guy thing where he's like, I've done my experimental art phase. Just give me the script. I'm gonna draw it. But this one was pretty cool. I did the other one where Jean Grey and Cyclops and Jubilee were having to deal with Sabretooth in the mansion, so this is Logan having to deal with it. And basically, of course, he'd like to kill him, but he can't do that because he's an X-Men. Check out this workout gear. Let's get physical. He's got his little half shirt on. I wasn't really calling shenanigans on this, but I thought it was a little weird. He's like, can't let him get to me. If he gets to me, he wins. Can't let that happen. No way. Got to lose myself in the reps. It's like, does Wolverine really get stronger from losing weights? I don't think he does. I don't think he also gets better cardio from doing cardio. I feel like lifting weights would be a complete waste of time. But anyway, then he's taking a little bubble bath, and then look at his little ponytail there. So then it becomes almost like a little Frank Miller thing. They're doing the reaction to, and you know what's funny? So Larry Hama hates me now, and he thinks I'm like a racist or a bigot or something like that, because I think he's just repeating stuff he's heard from like SJWs in the media. But this one, he sounds like a Republican. Like you can tell it's like, or at least a conservative. So there was a serial killer who got like beat up by the cops, and you know the what do you call it? The media is making a big deal of police brutality, but he's just like, try being a cop for a week, Trish. So he seems to be firmly on the side of the police. And then he's watching this one. It's kind of a little Frank Miller-esque. And then there's a little rope-a-dope thing where something he's thinking about in the news makes him realize that what Sabretooth is not pooping right there, even though it looks like he is. By the way, these backgrounds, you don't see stuff like this anymore because people will just use number one, 3D models, or number two, nothing, because they're just too lazy to do it. But this was like every superhero hideout, every villain hideout. It was just this. It was all these like random shapes and random panels like all over the place. But I used to do this stuff. It was fun to draw that way. So then we go in there, and Wolverine's basically like, you're putting on your mask and your little mittens, and Then they end up getting it. So this thing right here, if I remember correctly, it was like a double gatefold, or maybe a triple, whatever it is. So this is not what the comic looked like. It was, you would open it and you would fold it out like a centerfold, and there was a couple of them in there. This one too, where he like smashes his face. Look how distended his face gets. He's got like these bushy Trump eyebrows, and then they do this thing all the time where he pops two claws, and then it looks like at the end you see a little schlicked and then this thing. So I think he got like a, oh God, what is it? What did they used to do to like, they did it to one of the Kennedy sisters? Lobotomy. So I guess he gave him like a little lobotomy, but that was it. I actually kind of sped through it. These are the ones. This is what I was talking about, the Epic Collection. Oh man, I love this. It would be like 150 pages, black and white art, especially if you get the good artists like Mark Silvestri. Magnifique. That was great stuff. So yeah, that was it. That's Wolverine number 90 from whatever year. I think when I go to the comments, people know what it was. But okay, so this is where it turns into just a regular Hangout. So I can see the comments over here, the time right there. Boy, I did that fast, 6 minutes. 342 people in the chat, 66 thumbs up. Shekels go here. So Zixie Underwater is saying this is 95. But let me find a good page to go to. There's actually kind of like a lot of like sitting around in this. It had some action, but it was mainly like more like drama. Oh yeah. 1980s Stallone Wolverine. So gonna scroll up to the top. What's up, Derpetrator, Acid Drop, Ty, Dink, Plank, Arthur Chen, Nico Hodge. Alankotz Tabak says, you think Wolverine and Sabretooth are gay for each other? No. I never got that impression. Sorry. Scotty Richard Studio says, I have a new JB art on the way. Talking about John Byrne. Daniel Peak is saying this was from 1994. Solomon Kane says, I just saw Avengers Infinity War tonight. The cutscene was trash. I held my bladder for that. Yeah, so me and Zaxton went to go see it, and I was just kind of like, meh, on Infinity War. And then I just Googled it, because the way that our theater is, you can actually look at your cell phone and you're not bothering anyone, because it's like from a side view, they're like, here's your chair, and then there's this big wall, and then there's the other people, so they can't even see you. So I looked it up, and it just sounded, something with SHIELD agents, and it just sounded lame as hell. So I was like, I'm not staying for that. Scrolling down some more, get some glare. Trying to find a good. Actually, I mean, probably just the cover is the best part to look at. Yeah, that's dope. Come on, look at that. That is cool. Sorry, scrolling down. John Doe says, "God damn it, Zach, I have to go to bed." Johnny Asshole, that's his name, says, I have a whole bunch of hero trading cards with great art from the 1990s. I wonder if anyone collected those. Those were big. Yeah, there were several different lines. I remember collecting one of them with my younger brother. It was the one where Jim Lee did all of the X characters. Manny Fist says, Zach, did you see the Jawbreakers 80s, 90s open? Yeah, oh yeah, that just went up. So Mim Headroom did this little, like a 1980s, almost like an A-Team style intro for a TV show. And that was a lot of fun. I shared that on my Twitter. Sorry, early Pepsi break on that one. Scrolling down some more. Just Had an Awesome says, I want to see a Wolverine workout montage. Push it to the limit. I thought Push It to the Limit was the Scarface Making Money montage song. Daniel Peak says, modern artists just don't try anymore. Nothing matters. Absolutely. I was looking at this. Where was it? This one. This is like this close-up of... Look at this close-up of Sabretooth's face and his shoulder. Like, Okay, now you can say in some ways there's kind of some weird wonkiness to that drawing. Almost nobody at Marvel tries this hard. Like they just don't. They don't care. They're gonna turn in some Tumblr Steven Universe crap, and they're, the editor who hired them because of their politics and their identity, they don't even care. They're just like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. Richard Adams says, Zach, can you curl as much as Logan does in this panel? So Logan is curling a lot. I would call these 45 plates, but they even look big for 45. So let's just say they're 45s. So that's 90 and I get 35. Oh, God, I don't know. It's bad. Let's just say over 200 with a 45-pound bar. But, I mean, it's just doing some, look at that. Look at that. No, I can't do that. Scrolling down some more. Jeff Lastly says, Adam Kubert was awesome in the 1990s. He really was. This is like the best. Let's find, yeah, there's his, look at that. Just at his workout, he's having a steak with some A1 sauce. He's got some Budweisers there. Nice. Vincenzo C says, right, the muscles won't break down enough for weight training. Thanks for the super chat. Joseph Hottendorf Jr. Do you promise to cough on my Jawbreakers after you sign it? I can't promise that. I can't. I'm going to be signing a lot of stuff. Scrolling down some more. Solomon Kane says, Wade and the SJWs sacrifice their reputation and are willing to have Zach make more money as long as they don't lose the influence of Zach's book hitting the shelves. Absolutely. It is shocking what they have done. I actually had a buddy from like my first IT job. He just called me out of the blue. I haven't spoken to him in like 4 years. He was at a store and he heard people talking about it. He called me. He was like, hey, I heard you're being sued. I go, no, it's actually the opposite. I explained to them the whole situation. It's just insane. They would rather destroy comics than lose control of it to alt-right Nazis, aka normies. Scrolling down some more. Neon Cauldron says, did you hear about Antarctic Press telling EVS they'd publish Cyberfrog? He basically laughed in their face. Yeah, they'll publish it until anyone calls them and challenges them on it, and then they'll just like fold like a freaking lawn chair. Scrolling down some more. So John Doe says, it disappoints me that they didn't stay true to the foldouts. Well, you got to check this out, the cover price. $1. They lost money on this. This is a promotional. So I would have liked to have the foldouts, but you can probably go find this at a comic book store for like, I don't know, $7. So Zexieta Wari is saying this is from 1995. I agree. Why? I mean, not that I'm doubting her, but I remember this type of trade dress thing. I remember that being about 1995. Desktop publishing. Whoa, we got some Macs. DW Numi says, where's that Cobra Kai video, bruh? So I said I was going to do one, and then every single crazy thing in the world happened. I was watching that the last couple days of the 30-day campaign. And then the collusion with the store owners, and then freaking the Mark Wade, and then getting dropped, and then, all this lawsuit stuff. I forgot. I kind of feel like the time has passed. Although I'm getting a ton of people saying they watched Cobra Kai because of me mentioning it in videos. Scrolling down. Zexieta Worry says, this was good Wolverine. Absolutely. It was a great era. Almost all of Larry Hama's time on Wolverine was good, except for the short nose era. At one point, he's like a caveman. He has this really short nose. That was not cool. Thanks for the super chat. Bravo Alpha Romeo. Venom #1 video when? It's sick. I went to the comic shop on Saturday and it was already sold out, so maybe next week. JK says, Zach, can we get Jawbreakers patches from the same dude who made the Splato logo? It's dope. I did like it, but I'm holding off. I like the idea of Jawbreakers patches. I like that idea for a future Indiegogo, um, but I want it to be like perfect. And that one was good, but like the Splato logo that I chose, as soon as I saw it, I said, that is perfect. I want the Jawbreakers to, when the patch is designed, it's going to start to get incorporated into the book. So I've seen some cool patch designs, but nothing that I would want to slap the table on, as they say. Paul's NYC says, was just watching the Rekia Law, Rakita Law interview, came here. We'll finish later. So he's got like a 2-hour video and like a 45-minute video. I'm telling you, watch the 45-minute and especially the last 15 minutes. It is devastating. Scrolling. So somebody said, are any of the Jawbreakers pansexual? No, none of them are, what do they call it? Attention whores. Pansexual is this new way to describe people who are bisexual. It's like when bisexual is not giving you, you're not getting enough attention, say you're pansexual. What's up, Tyler Brusso? Scrolling down some more. Fleer Ultra, yeah, that was a good, yeah. They had those. They had a couple different lines. And then there was this whole shenanigans. I think Marvel bought Fleer, and then there was all these corporate shenanigans that led to kind of the collapses in the 1990s. Draconite says, Zach, you might just get me into comics for the first time. I have had some people say that, and I love hearing it. Million Dollar Prawn says, I just got here. Is Zach going to flip it or rip it? This is a recommend. If your store, usually they put these like dollar comics in like a different place, but they'll probably have it. Scrolling down. West JD says, will the Indiegogo shirt be Jawbreakers Art a Splato logo shirt? So it says, I think it says Splato t-shirt on there, but that could be interpreted as literally being Splato or being Splato Comics Company and one of the characters. So when it gets closer to the end, then I'm going to have people vote on it. Scrolling down some more. Ryan Leotagata says, did you see David Stewart's look into Jawbreakers? I think I shared it, but I didn't have time to watch it. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. A lot of people saying they have to go to sleep. George Cole again says this comic is from 1995. It was right after Magneto ripped his adamantium off his body. In 96, they did that story that turned him into a noseless monster. Yeah, I dipped out when he turned into a noseless monster. Smart RN says, anyone going to the Houston Con this weekend, look for me in the I Support DNC shirt. Nice. Scrolling down. DW Nemi says, do you think the Captain Marvel movie has a chance or is it doomed? How would you make a good Captain Marvel movie? It's Marvel, it's DC, it's got all the goodwill of all the movies. I think it'll do okay. I think the casting is very boring and bland. I don't really know anything about the screenwriters or the directors. It's a directing team, and it's not brothers like the Russos. It's kind of weird. I know in an interview they did like a year ago, they basically said they didn't have enough stuff from the comics and they just had to start making up their own stuff. So how would I do a Captain Marvel movie? I wouldn't. There's so many better characters to do a movie on. William Overstreet says, hey, when will you let us buy shares into Splato? I don't really know about that type of stuff, stocks and things like that. I've seen, Sean Burry's doing it. It just seems like, I don't know. I don't like paperwork. I think there's a lot of paperwork to do that stuff. SEC and stuff like that. GN Guy says, "Do you like Terminal Lance?" Oh yeah, Max Iriarty. He's has a website called Terminal Lance. He has a web comic. Well, it's a web comic strip. He has a graphic novel called Terminal Lance: The White Donkey. I was into his website from like the first couple months. I was into it seriously for like 3 years, and then just kind of dipped out. But it's good stuff. Thanks for the super chat, slug to the chest. Curling that much is how Callum von Mogner snapped his bicep. I can believe it. Thanks for the super chat, literature devil. You should change the title of the video to bicep reveal. What, these? This? The foreshortening, that my arm could be any size, it doesn't even matter. Scrolling down some more. The Crimson Sin says AP folded faster than Superman on laundry day. That's an old school, old head insult. Hey, Joshua Cochran has a good point. He says, I paid like $2.95 for this first run. Why is it $1 now? This is Marvel's True Believers line. They do reprints, and they're basically promotional items. So yeah, Marvel's probably losing 5-10 cents every issue on this. Timecode Mechanics says, I got to shoot in the morning, but here's a random $2. Well, thank you very much. What are you shooting? What kind of like my buddy's actually an actor in this action movie. Is being shot down on the border right now, and they are doing some crazy like 14-hour days. The doctor says, this is right before or right after Age of Apocalypse. If this is the one where he stabs Victor in the brain at the end, it's the final issue before Age of Apocalypse in 1995. You have a good memory, I believe, and I think that's what this blue thing is. I think that might be the shattering of the timeline. Scrolling down some more. Joshua Cochran says, by the way, Adam Kubert over Hildebrandt painting is amazing. So I think it's Hildebrandt's over Kubert, but look at even the teeth. It's actually, the glare is kind of screwing it up. I'm saying in real life, it's making it really yellow on the screen to me, but it looks awesome. It's got like these cool like purples here, and then the bright, like, it looks dope. Scrolling down some more. Joshua Cochran says the short nose era is stupid. By the way, this is not the short nose era. This is just a stylistic choice. He actually gets like this weird mashed in nose later on. Thanks for the super chat, Dan D. That was the gayest comic that Marvel ever produced. So much man-on-man action and muscles on display. Scrolling down some more. Thanks for the super chat, Rax the Hero. Zach, advice on how to do well with my channel? Daily content. Yellow Flash is blowing up. Check out the views on his videos now. He's really blowing up, and it's because he consistently makes, like, I would say at least 3 videos a day. It's 2 or 3. Vincenzo says, did you contact the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, and did they respond? I sent them an email late Friday, and I have not heard back. We'll see what happens this week. Joseph Diaz says, Medeker just did a 10,000 viewer stream and was asked about you and Mark Waid. He seemed interested and on your side. I like Medeker. I like him a lot. I'm also admittedly scared of him. I think if he ever decided he didn't like me, he would roast me and my channel to death. Absolute death. Scrolling down. The doctor says he hit a local comic-focused Comic-Con yesterday. It was still 90% cosplayers, no spending money. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Akuro M says, Zach, are you going to work with Ethan to publish Cyberfrog? I mean, I'd like to, but I think he's got his own thing he's already worked out. Wow, Atreon says Jawbreakers is the first comic he bought in over 20 years. So around this time, 95 was the last time you got comics? That was a good year. 95 was a good year. It was a fun year. Ooh, I gotta turn down my brightness on my phone a little bit. Yeah, I do. Oh, I just got an announcement for the IBS stream from Meetaker. Sorry. Scrolling down some more. Illyrian Horizon says, holy shit, Zach, I got unsubscribed from your channel. No wonder I didn't get notifications. Yeah, I always say subscribe and make sure you subscribe because YouTube will just randomly unsubscribe you from stuff. I'll be sitting there like, well, man, Doug Ernst isn't like he's not really doing any videos, and I go, oh, I'm unsubscribed. Why is that? Scrolling down some more. Classy to me or Classy Tome says, I watched both of the Ricada law videos. Fascinating. Yeah, it's really cool, the second one, because he does some research on tortious interference, so he's like ready to like, it's like in the front of his brain, and he does really, it's devastating. Epic78 says, hey Zach, were you a fan of classic Savage Sword of Conan? Working my way through volume 1 omnibus, and it's amazing. You know, I was really never into Conan that much. I actually thought it was kind of like a meathead thing, but now when I see like Conan comics, like they're like, they look like masterpieces compared to like anything, you know, that's on the stands today. Scrolling down some more. Hardboiled Entertainment says, Zach, have you thought about reaching out to Chuck Dixon, bringing him on to give Splat-Out Comics some credibility and gravitas? Maybe Frank Miller. I love Chuck Dixon. I've known him for like 10 years. I can definitely see asking him if he would like to work on something in one of the future projects. Scrolling down some more. All right. Everyone just talking about pansexual. Illyrian Horizon says, hey Zach, I saw Deadpool 2 today and it was cool, but I came to a sudden realization I effing hate going to the movie theater now. I'd rather wait to just watch stuff at home now. How do you feel? I know what you're talking about. I actually, here in Texas, matinees are very cheap. I think they're like $5.50. And even like on Tuesdays or something, evening movies are like $5.50. So I used to live in my old neighborhood that I'm probably going to move back to. There was a movie theater right there, and I used to see like 2 movies a week. And I also had Movie Pass back when Movie Pass was cool, so it was like $30 for unlimited movies. But I know what you're talking about. Sometimes you just kind of like dread going there. One of the things I like about this theater is they remodeled, so now there's like this stair step thing. There's a lot less seats, but they're like recliners. They move back and forth. Nobody can like put their feet on the back of their chair because of how it's like laid out. Like it's not even humanly possible to do that. Nobody can kick your chair. There's literally just, people aren't sitting behind you. They're like up and above, and you can't even see them. Scrolling down some more. What's up, FodXP? Sorry. Mem Headroom says it's 5 a.m. where he is. Oh my gosh. I was loving the Jawbreakers video put up. Oh, hey, what's up, Edwin Boyette? Hell Priest solo book needs to happen. So I was literally thinking about that earlier today. I was like, man, there's all this craziness, but I've got a lot. Hell Priest, if you look at the fan art, Hell Priest seems to be maybe the favorite character. Hell Priest and Knife Hand seem to get the most fan art. The craziest thing is I thought because I designed all the costumes, even though John Malin obviously draws them better than I do. I thought Devil Dog was going to be like the most popular character because he's got the coolest costume. But people just like Hellpriest. They just like that idea. So I would love to do a solo book. That obviously, a series. Now I can do a solo book. That's not a problem. I want to do a series with him, but that requires some serious investment and planning and funding and all that type of stuff. Scrolling down some more. John Doe says, you think a Jawbreakers animated movie covering the events before and during Lost Souls would be good? Honestly, even though Jawbreakers Lost Souls is, quote, only 50 pages, the entire trade paperback is 112 because it has 3 stories in it. There's enough stuff that happens in that you could do a 60 to 90 minute cartoon just based off of Lost Souls. Okay, so Daniel Peak, man, I love having these experts in comic book continuity. He says that right here, this shatter is it's actually the McCran crystal shatter effect. That's the moment when Legion kills Xavier, creating the Age of Apocalypse. Love it. Thanks for chiming in on that. Scrolling down some more. The doctor says Noseless Caveman Wolverine was right after Wolverine 100, and him rejecting the adamantium rebonding process, and him devolving after his healing factor got super wonky. Nice. Thanks for the super chat. Solve for X. If you let her... Oh, JB is Jawbreakers. If you letter Jawbreakers yourself, please watch lots and lots of tutorials, bruh. Nothing ruins a comic quicker than bad lettering. Also, no Photoshop lettering. So, I lettered Jawbreakers book 1 and book 2. I've gotten some feedback on it. Some people said hire a professional letterer. I've got a couple issues with that. Number one, I'm so radioactive right now, it could be hard to find a letterer that is willing to work. At least with being credited. The other thing is that the way I work, and I'm doing this with Iron Sights, I did this Jawbreakers book 1 and book 2, is once it's drawn, I basically completely redo all the dialogue. So I like stuff to fit. Like, I hate when there's like a dialogue that's like going over part of someone's head. I'll rewrite it so that doesn't have to happen. And this one is like, it's good stuff, but stuff like this. See this? Where you've got like the dialogue like going over his face. I don't like that stuff. So I would, if I would have gotten this, I would have rewritten this to make it a lot shorter, and the dialogue like would have been up here, or something like that. Scrolling down some more. Daniel Peak is ruining Deadpool 2 for me. So the first time, I hope this is not true. The first time they did Deadpool in costume, she had hairy armpits, or at least maybe it was a shadow. And I was like, they're not going to do that, are they? They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that, are they? And then Daniel Peak seems to be confirming that it's real. I can't watch this anymore. Mim Headroom says the Medicare stream was cancer. I don't know what the theme was. I just saw it said IBS. The Curve Flicky says, could you ask the audience about getting on Louder with Crowder? I'd go. He's right here, in town. I don't really have any connections. I've seen some people like at him, but I don't really know how to do it besides that. Anwar Madrigal says, is it tortious interference if you don't have a book in stores and a signed contract? From what I've been hearing, it's it's that you have a deal, that there was a deal and then it got broken. Scrolling. Sorry, people are talking about the Medicare live stream. Jordan F says, "Hey Zach, my niece wants to know if she can make paper dolls out of your Jawbreakers comic." She can, but it's kind of expensive. I would buy one of these True Believers for $1. Hey, what's up? Appleben's here. Thanks for the super chat, jellyfish sandwich. I'm done moving the needle on new Marvel and most industry books, only putting my dollars towards indies like the Jawbreakers team and EVS. They don't deserve my money. I'm assuming you mean Marvel and industry. So a lot of people have been hitting me up, and I actually had a friend hit me up, and he's like, "Why are you trying to get comics into stores?" And I go, bragging rights, and for awards. Not that I'm going to get awards, but for tracking the sales, so I can say I did. And he goes, "Screw them! Like once Diamond takes their cut, and the stores take their cut, like you're left with like almost nothing. Why don't you just do all of your stuff through Indiegogos?" And I was like, it might come to that. Scrolling down some more. Yeah, I love King KDI. I love when Raketa says, if someone did, and he basically says what Mark Waid did, he goes, "I would slap them in the face and then bill them for it." So scrolling down some more. The doctor says, "Zach, do we know if Jamal Igle has been licensed to practice in Texas? He got through law school and took his bar in about 2 days, so he's obviously a super lawyer." So yeah, all the SJWs and comics, they're all freaking the hell out because my book's successful, so they got to come up with every single excuse in the world why $311,000 somehow doesn't count. He's also now claiming, apparently seriously, that I am legally the de facto leader of comicsgate, and comicsgate is a political organization, and therefore if anyone commits crimes, I am legally beholden. And he's like quoting like U.S. codes for and like a lawyer was like telling me like, "Nothing you're saying is true," and then he blocked an actual lawyer and is still saying the same thing. It's stupid. Scrolling down some more. Trevor8641 says, "I don't remember the last comic he's bought," or he doesn't remember it. Appleben says Deadpool 2 was adequate. So the only review I've watched was the Quartering, Jeremy. I've been watching the Quartering a lot. I used to think he was just a gaming channel, but he's actually been covering comics and movies a lot more. So he kind of said the same thing. He's like, "It was good, not as good as the first one, but it was solid." And I was like, "All right, I'll probably see it like next Sunday or something." Scrolling down some. Mim Headroom says, "Yo, that's what I'm going to do. Submit this assignment at 9 a.m. Head to the cinema, watch Avengers, then go in for Deadpool 2. Ooh, I couldn't do that. I did that one time in my entire life. Okay, I'm old. So I saw Pet Sematary 2 and Single White Female back to back, and that was hell. That was not fun at all. They're both like good movies, but like they're solid. But seeing two movies back to back sucked ass. Appa Ben says Solo is in 2 days. Really? Oh, geez, it's almost the end of the month. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Blunt Lee says, "I went to Deadpool 2 and a woman next to me narrated everything that happened, and the guy in the back row laughed at anything that was remotely funny. Movie theaters are cool and all, but damn." So lots of people happy to see Appa Ben. Why am I on this page? This isn't even a dynamic page. Come on. Something better. I just like the cover. Or we can see Ponytail Wolverine. Joshua Cochran says, "Is there a better Wolverine versus Sabretooth fight in your opinion?" Yeah, this one wasn't even really a fight. Basically, there was like this electrified doorway, and then the actual fight is just done in this little like postage stamp type of thing. Like, I didn't consider this a good fight. There's been way better fights, and especially in like the Silvestri comics that were like, geez, like 5 years before this. Damn, Minifist says Devil Dog is just forgettable. Wamp, wamp. Zexy Adewari says Devil Dog does have the coolest costume. So John Malin gave. So when I did Jawbreakers book 1, I didn't realize till I was done drawing that I gave Hell Priest and Devil Dog basically the exact same hairdo. So John Malin came in and he gave Devil Dog this really, really long rocker hair. It's like long, straight blonde hair. It actually makes me think of, if anyone remembers this band named Urge Overkill from the 1990s, he looks like someone from Urge Overkill. Squore Geek says, is Jawbreakers going to be on Comixology? I don't have any plans for it right now. I'm not a fan of digital comics. I prefer people buy them for multiple reasons. I also, I think it's obviously, more likely to be pirated when it's digital. Scrolling down some more. People happy to see Mim Headroom and Appabent here in the chat. Hopefully they're happy to see Ponytail Wolverine. How's your father? Says my favorite Jawbreaker is Hell Rabbi. Wamp wamp. Thanks for the super chat. Tord Marcus Birkeland Jakobsen. Norwegian Kroners. My favorite is Silkworm. Nice. Okay, nice. Silkworm actually looks a little Norwegian. They got the dark-haired Norwegians. So yeah. Doctor says the doctor says I am a walking ex Wikipedia. Nice. Zexy Adewari says Silkworm is hot. Okay, so I specifically designed the Jawbreakers. My original version, they were all supposed to be very, very attractive to women. One of the things about superheroes, to me, is that they are fantasy characters. You should want to look like Wolverine, even though he's short. I mean, come on, look. Like, I wouldn't want to be short, but if I could look like this, yeah, I'd look like that. I don't like when they like draw them weird or ugly or small or misshapen. Like, it's like that classic thing. It's like women want you and guys want to be you. Like, that's what a superhero should be like. Scrolling down some more. Zexy Adewari says, I love the idea of lettering that matches the characters like you were describing. I hate when there's like a bubble that goes like partly over their head or like partly over their chin. It's like, what are you doing? Scrolling down some more. Daniel Peak says, Hell Priest has such a great concept and has a ton of story potential, but both normal crime fighting and arcane adventures. So he basically has two eras. He's a regular guy, and then he gets betrayed and killed, and he comes back with kind of like arcane superpowers. So yeah, so it's kind of like a two-career superhero. Scrolling down some more. Sorry, Plot XP says Medeker always has irritable bowel syndrome. Baghead777 says the Medeker stream was over 6 hours long. I don't know how I can do that. I always get these, notifications where it had been a live stream and then, it turns into a regular video after you're done. And it's like that Umbrella guy and someone else talking for 2 hours, 45 minutes. Yellow Flash talking to John Malin, 3 hours. I'm like, what the hell? I start making lame excuses like I have to go to dinner when I'm in a live stream that goes more than like an hour. Scrolling down some more. Atomic American says Steven Crowder is going to have Ralph Macchio on this Thursday, so surely you can get on there, Zach. Okay, so I got to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is Ralph Macchio's wigs. So there's a Funny or Die, since, obviously Cobra Kai is popular. A Funny or Die that Ralph Macchio did like 7 years ago, and he's got this ridiculous like game show host wig on. And now he's got like a more mature one on in Cobra Kai, and it's freaking they're so goddamn distracting. It's killing me. I know they're gonna have a bigger budget on Cobra Kai season 2. Like, get Ralph Macchio a better toupee or hair system or whatever it is. Laura Davies says, under Texas law, all there has to be is a reasonable expectation of a future business relationship for tortious interference to apply. So yeah, I'm actually I'm going to LA to talk to some lawyers because you know who's there in California, but I'm actually going to try to talk to a Texas one this week. Vid ZGW says, can you say hi to my son? I'll say, what's up? Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Tyler Robinson says, were you a fan of Milestone Comics back when they were in publication in the 1990s? What was your opinion of them? I didn't like them. I thought they were lame. Like, every single one, it's like, okay, so this is Static Shock. That's Black Spider-Man. This is the one that looked like a bunch of junk. It's like, okay, that's Black Iron Man. There's Black Superman, and then Black Superman had like a pregnant sidekick. I didn't like them. I thought they were stupid. Scrolling down some more. Cruder Quotient says, honestly, F. John Layman. His comment pissed me off. Please don't review Leviathan. It was rough. I actually had people say, like, I don't know if in good faith I can buy Leviathan. Because I've been pumping up Leviathan. Because the art's so cool. And I read the Ashcan and the story was fun too. But man, he is just stuck. Somebody was telling me he's from the crew. So like 15 years ago, Warren Ellis had a forum. And a lot of the really, really snotty, condescending, customer and fan hating pros were all regulars on there. We're talking like B. Claymore, Nick Spencer, Kelly Thompson, and apparently also good old John Layman. Scrolling down some more. Alan says it may be smarter financially to just do it through Indiegogos, but I was really looking forward to going into my local comic shop and buying Jawbreakers. This is the thing that really pisses me off, and this is the thing I'm going to bring up if this ever goes into trial or depositions or whatever. I can't control if it goes to trial because there's a lot of factors, but I am pushing forward with a suit. That this harms the consumer, because when you're Joe Schmo out there and you work at Whataburger, and you're making $10 an hour, you can't afford my book for $25. You can't. But it was going to get broken up into 2 books published for like $6 or $7 each. And so, Joe Schmo, he's 19, he's working at Whataburger. He really likes how John Malin's story looks. Well, we would have had a 50-page, nice looking book by Antarctic for like $5.99. And now that can't happen, and who knows how long it'll be till I can get it going, and maybe Diamond will get nervous or whatever, but this directly harms the consumer, and that's why these laws exist. Mark Waid really stepped in it. Chris Stapps Hudat says, how do you feel about the underground comics, Ralph Bakshi and Robert Crumb stuff? I was never into Ralph Bakshi, but I was really into Robert Crumb, like back in the 90s, his older stuff, 70s through 90s. And I was also really into the fabulous furry Freak Brothers by, I think his name is Phil Sheldon. DW Nemi says, I heard a rumor from an insider that the only lawyer Wade could get to take his case was Jamal Eichel. Oh my gosh. Just That Awesome says, did Bleeding Cool delete the last Mark Waid article? I haven't seen that. I'll go check after the stream. Excuse me. Pepsi break. Paul's NYC says, have you reviewed Dr. Star from Dark Horse? If not, check it out. Wonder what you think. I am liking it. Okay, so that's a good recommend. So I've done a couple of Dark Horse videos, and I said, I used to like Dark Horse in the 90s, and I haven't really thought good about it for 20 years. But I read that Zodiac Star Force, and that was good. And people were telling me, they're like, Dark Horse is on a come up. So yeah, I'll check out that Dr. Star. Scrolling down some more. Video Vice 25 says, Video Vice 25, by the way, did a fantastic drawing of Splato. That's on the Jawbreakers art Twitter page. I love it. It says, Eigel trying to law-splain Ricada, who is a lawyer, was funny. I don't understand why these people block. Like, it's so childish. You're talking law, and you're gonna block a lawyer. It's retarded. Illyrian Horizon says Deadpool 2 tries too hard to get you to laugh. The first felt natural. Absolutely. The first had a very high hit rate on the jokes. I think like 2% of the jokes fell flat. Scrolling down some more. So people tend to be saying that the first one was better. Zexieta Wari says, I usually see 2. The theater here doesn't charge for the second one. Oh my, I could not do that. That would straight up kill me. So Smart RN1 says, Soilo opens on Thursday. I don't know. So I got like, I'm not going to say it's going to be good. I got this weird feeling like I might be the only person who likes Solo. But the movie I'm really excited about is Mission Impossible Pooping Without Peeing, or whatever the title is. That they put out a new trailer today, and it looks awesome. The villain from the last one, who was really good, is coming back, which is cool because they've never repeated villains before. So I'm excited about that. Delmar says, has Mark Waid got away with throwing tantrums and overturning tables and shit over the years without someone smashing him in the mouth and putting him in his place? Is he a badass or something? So I've never heard any stories about him assaulting someone. It's just tantrums. He has, from what I can tell, some sort of emotional problem, developmental delay. So he's kind of infamous for tantrums his entire life. But the thing he did with Antarctic, that was, whew, that's bad. Matt V says he saw The Way of the Gun and he was the only one in the theater. Yeesh. I think, no, when I went to see Ghostbusters in 2016, there was like 2 other people. Scrolling down some more. Zexia Adewari says, this hair works on Wolverine. Yeah, I agree. Scrolling down some more. Asuko Langley Sorio says, I can't stand movie theater audiences. People think they need to clap, try to be funny, force gasp to let others know what they know what's going on. Yeah, that kind of stuff annoys me too. Where I live, you get normal people in the crowds. You don't get a lot of stuff like that. But I've lived with other people where people do that stuff a lot. Dr. Nerdly says, Devil Dog has a grifter vibe. Absolutely. I love Grifter. I love him so much. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Thanks for the super chat, Darth Bobcat. I've seen a few people roast Jawbreakers issue 1. Did Devil Dog do anything really cool in it? I remember things everyone else did, like Hell Priest. Yeah, Devil Dog didn't get like a big... I mean, his coolest thing is he does like a 1 punch on Silkworm and knocks him down to the ground. But he's just kind of like the driver in the main fight at the beginning, so... I did not. Elephant in the Room Sahib says, I did not see the royal wedding, but I gotta say, what's her name? Markle. She is hot. Oh my god. I still like Iris from The Flash more. Scrolling down some more. Dr. Nerdly says, is Hell Priest celibate? No. Scrolling down. Sorry. John Doe says, who is the tallest Jawbreaker? Definitely Devil Dog. He's supposed to be like really tall. Like 6'4", 6'6". Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Sorry. I gotta see how far behind I am. Oh no, I'm not. Oh, I'm only like 11 minutes behind. It's because my review was really short. Yavel Tosada says, so what do you do if you have to go to the bathroom during a live stream? When I did the video yesterday where I interviewed myself, I got halfway through and I had to stop to go to the bathroom. But it's not that noticeable, the edit. Scrolling down some more. Kevin Chan says, Zach, who would be your ideal actor to play Logan if Hugh Jackman didn't take the role? I mean, people say Tom Hardy, but I don't know. Oh, I know. Chase Crawford, the guy who just got fired from the Lethal Weapon TV show. Vigilante Review says, is Ralph Macchio bald or something? He's not bald like Costanza from Seinfeld. He's just got like a busted hairline from getting older. But, yeah. Scrolling down. Oh my gosh. Chisulu Save says, Medicare made $5,000 in super chats yesterday. I'm guessing you could suffer through 6 hours. I think the most I ever made was the last night of the 30-day campaign for Indiegogo. And it was right after the news about the collusion with the store owners. So I had like 2,300 people in the chat and made $1,000. And then my battery died. Oh man. What would I have made if the thing didn't die? Scrolling down some more. Thanks for the super chat, Slimo Jones. Are you getting a Soilo shirt from Uncle Ethan? No. I know people always talk about, they're like, do merch, do t-shirts. I've never bought that in my life. Like everything I buy, like, remember this Captain America shirt they sell at every Target in the country? I just buy stuff at Target. Like I don't order clothes. Manifest says, since I'm in Texas, it's better to go to a Texas lawyer. Yeah, I don't know how that works because I almost feel like the whole thing might go faster if I got a lawyer near him, you know? You know who. Scrolling down some more. Chris Stapps Houdat says, how did you feel about Batman Beyond? So I have a funny little history with Batman Beyond in that it, remember when Kieran Shake went to go, was releasing my, my arrest record from the 1990s and it had stalking on there? Stalking was from, I went to go fight a guy, so I went to his door and I knocked on his door. And I told him to step outside, and he didn't. So we got in a fight in like a week later when we ran into each other on the street. But I watched Batman Beyond right before I went there. It was the first episode. It was debuting on like whatever Fox TV. So it was. I can tell you, Batman Beyond debuted in 1999 because February of 1999, maybe January. Amy Minty says, don't sue in California. They have the worst court of appeals. Sorry. Illyrian Horizon says, are comics pros still upset about the election? Apparently, yes. All right. Smart RN1 says, the art by Nick Patara. Nick. Okay. I keep screwing up this. This guy has the weirdest name. It feels like a tongue twister. Nick Patara. Vic Patara. Nick Vitara. I'm looking at it and I'm still saying Vitara. Nick Pitara. Just change your name to Vitara. This doesn't sound normal. The art by Nick Pitara on Leviathan is great. Worth reviewing on that alone. Yeah, no matter how much of a little pill, as my mom would say, John Layman is acting like that art by Nick Vitara is cool. Scrolling down some more. Nick, oh gosh. What's all the nicknames that are hard to say? Nick Ekerniku. The whole Jawbreaker situation makes me not want to even go to my local comic shop because I don't want any backlash if there is any. Honestly, I walk into comic shops now and I feel like I'm about to get kicked out. We've seen people get kicked out for making videos about me. Am I about to be kicked out for being me? Like, like I said, I've been getting a lot of reports of people asking their local comic shop and just getting really weird, hostile, or evasive answers. It's like, hey, comic industry, is this the hill you want to die on? Refusing to stock a comic that your customers want to buy about a bunch of superheroes protecting a giant monkey? Like, seriously? There's no politics in it at all. Scrolling down some more. John Doe says, I used to call Whataburger when I was younger. Yeah, I did the same thing. Chancellor Matt says, Zach, I work at Whataburger and can't afford Jawbreakers. Should I sue? Yeah, kind of. Video Vice says, Nick Pitara sounds like some rare Italian bread. Gilbert Sheldon. Thank you, Outpatient. Gilbert Sheldon is the one who did the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. By the way, Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers has a Splato-like, not talking, but thinking cat in it. Scrolling down. Sorry. Jean-Pierre Polnareff. Is Mark Waid still hiding? Apparently, yeah. He's got 2 books debuting next month, Doctor Strange and The Wasp and Ant-Man, I think it's called. So we'll see if he comes out of hiding, or maybe Marv is just like, your dumbass just stays in hiding. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Tom Rio says, World War III is coming. Are you re-enlisting? Yeah, if there's a World War III, I would. I don't think it's coming, though. Thanks for the super chat, Jay Gatt. Do a review of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1. TMNT devolved into cuteness like Teen Titans and Thundercats. Yeah, if I see, like, if they do, like, one of these, I'd definitely get it, like, a cheap reprint. All right. Scrolling down some more. Rosa Ski says, what do you think of Malibu Comics when they were still a thing? I liked when they did that reboot, and they had like Firearm, and they had what was the one done by Norm Brayfagle? The one that I really liked was Firearm, written by James Robinson, and the art was by Cully Hamner. Firearm was like a dope. That was a legitimately great comic. Thanks for the super chat, Donald Gooch. No, what do you call it? No message. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Thanks for the. Okay, so the movie is called Mission Impossible Fallout, not Mission Impossible Pooping Without Peeing, which is just an in joke from my time in the Marines. Um, Thanks for another super chat, Donald Gooch. Scrolling down some more. Okay, John Doe says, why do you call it pooping without peeing? So this is a gross story. So the girls will probably want to dip out right now. So I was in the Marines and I was 0331 infantry machine gunner. But for like 9 months, I got a FAP, not a FAP like, you know what I mean, Fleet Assistance Program, where I got to work a desk job. I was married at the time, so it gave me 9 to 5 hours, and it was kind of nice in that regard. So we had this teeny tiny little office with like, I don't know, Staff Sergeant Pangolin in there and there. It was like a small office with like 5 of us, and then like this little closet bathroom. And for some reason, in this small area in the bathroom, you could always hear everything everyone was doing in there, and you just got used to it. So somebody started talking about how it was impossible to poop without peeing, and every single person said, "BS, I can do that. If I really got to poop, I can poop without peeing." And so every single person, me included, went in there to prove it, and every single person failed. You think you can do it. You think you can do it. I guarantee you cannot do it. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. So MCR says weight of the gun was awesome. Alan says weight of the gun was shit. I think it's kind of in the middle. There's some cool scenes, but overall, yeah, the book, I don't really like it that much. So Zexiatawari says, how did Fallout turn into pooping without peeing? Well, I could never remember the actual title. So Mission Impossible made me think of the most impossible thing in the world, which is pooping without peeing. Try it. You will not be able to do it. And if you say you did it and you were successful, I'm going to say you're a liar. Scrolling down some more. Jeff Meyer says, I love all of the Cruise Mission Impossible movies except for the second because it sucks. I love the second one. The one I don't like is Ghost Protocol. But that's my favorite franchise. I love it so much. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Why is Soda Squad's leader say Angela Merkel is hot? Where did that come from? Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle. Scrolling down some more. Thanks for the super chat, Joshua Cochran. Wildcats aliens when Zealot tells Grifter he was born in a country western bar in Columbus, Ohio. Best Grifter moment, and yes, I'm Ohioan. I missed that bit. Yeah, I used to get all the Wildcats. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. A3 Aber 1 says, why was Chase Crawford fired from Lethal Weapon? Apparently he's got a little bit of a temper. And especially on those longer shoot days when there's some stunts, sounds like he's had a little temper problem. Doesn't sound like he ever like beat anyone up, but it sounds like he was a little bit of a hothead, and that was wearing on the crew. Scrolling down some more. Nardo Polo says, have you ever seen the Ralph Macchio Funny or Die skit where he tries not being a nice guy? I watched it today. Just like most Funny or Die videos, it's horribly unfunny. And like, he has this cheesy, stupid wig. Like, it's embarrassing. Mr. Squeegee says, did you see the Gotham season finale? No, I think I'm like 2 or 3 episodes behind. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. What happened with Boogie? I don't really know Boogie that well. Donald Gooch says you need a lawyer who is a member of the bar in the state you are bringing this suit. Yeah. Wave Rider says you're going to STCC this year. No, I'm not. I don't have a ticket. Scrolling down some more. Manifest says you don't want to get a lawyer across state. It's best to choose a lawyer close to you and have him deal with lawyers across state lines. Scrolling down some more. Mr. L, I got to tell you, I'm going to sound like a big old tourist, but I've never been to the Salt Lake barbecue, and I've never been there. Been to Rudy's, but I haven't been to Salt Lake. Thanks for the super chat, Doomed, huh? Sell a shirt, retailers could notice your subs Wednesday. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Sell a shirt, retailers could notice your subs. Oh, so you're saying like for people to wear their shirt into the comic store, something like that? Oh, thanks for the big old super chat, DJ Nieves. Thundercats Roar is terrible. Please support my hashtag called the Unthunder of Cats so that we can end it before it starts. That thing, I heard they took the video down. Like they took it down. Scrolling down some more. Slick Jimmy Speaks, thanks for the super chat. Look out for my forthcoming independent comic, Little Girl Lethal. If you like blood, boobs, and badassery, we got it. Scrolling down some more. Fan of All Metal says, did you watch the 80s Dungeons and Dragons cartoon? Yes, that was freaking amazing. Oh my, I gotta see if that's where I can watch that online. That was freaking fantastic. Pick Natara. Dank Plank says his store is on my side. Scrolling down some more. DW Nemi says, did the Jawbreakers vote for Trump or Hillary? I would say I would say just because they're kind of like military style. Yeah, they'd probably Devil Dog and Cuffs is a Republican, so they'd probably both vote for Trump. Hell Priest, I don't think he even cares about politics. Silkworm, I don't think he cares. And I don't think Knife Hand cares either. Scrolling down. Sorry. Somebody said turn the page. I'm just going to go back to the cover. I thought the cover was really, really cool. They used to do stuff like this all the time. Get like a fantasy artist to do a paint over. It was like usually it was pretty cool. Scantron says, I'm planning on using Jawbreakers as a litmus test at my local shop. If they won't order it for me when it goes up on Diamond, I'm done with them. Honestly, like I said, like, comic stores can choose what they want to do, but if I wanted to order a book and my store refused to order it for me, I would actually be like really bothered. I'd be like, what the hell? Just order the thing, dude. Like, stop trying to tell me what I'm allowed to read. Scrolling down some more. Spaghetti Teat says, call him Nick Potato instead of Nick Pitara. Scrolling down some more. Paul's NYC says, Zach, read the follow-up, The Federalist. article by a different author, saw some inaccuracies, not flattering. Yeah, that was really weird. I did like an interview for the Federalist, and then they did an article, and it was very fair, and it was like normal. And then like 3 days later, this like ridiculous like BuzzFeed style hit piece came out from the same website. I was like, what the hell's going on? That one didn't get a lot of traction though. Thanks for the super chat, Joseph Cittadino. With Thundercats getting Tumblrified, what franchise do you think the SJWs will try to pervert and corrupt next? Going with the keynotes and critical infrastructure, I'm going to say G.I. Joe. Yeah, some kind of doofy take on G.I. Joe. Scrolling down. See how I'm doing on time. Oh, I was 10 minutes behind and now I'm 20. Scrolling down some more. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Zexy Ottawari says, girl who loves gross stories, thumbs up. Sorry. Everyone thinks the word fap was hilarious. Sorry. Thanks for the super chat, Michael Klump. Do you think a comic book about the sad, depressing life of Mark Waid as an unreliable narrator and villain protagonist could work better as a book than his actual books? I'm thinking about writing it. I don't know if a book would work, but if you've ever seen The King of Kong, a whole bunch of people brought this up. I think Doug Ernst was the first one, and then I think people saw him talk about it and other people did it, and they were saying Mark Waid is Billy Mitchell. You got to watch the King of Kong documentary to know who this Billy Mitchell guy is, but yeah, he there's a lot of similarities. Scrolling down some more. So now people are saying they're going to try pooping without peeing. I guarantee you cannot do it. Everyone thinks they can do it. Everyone does. No, you can't pee first, Army Vet Rod Patreon videos. That's cheating. It's on your honor. You're sitting there, you're working. I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta BM, like Grandma says, make a BM, and then you go do it. Somni says this is a true challenge for the masses. Amy Minty says too much information. I told people if they didn't, that it was gonna be gross, so you had to. Scrolling down some more. S4NS says, this is how my Sunday ends, listening to pooping without peeing stories. Nuclear Sandwich says, is this the new YouTube challenge? Are we going to start hearing? Yeah, it's like the ice bucket challenge from like 4 years ago. So Chancellor Matt liked Ghost Protocol. I don't like it. I don't like it. Thanks for super chat, James S. Just got back from Deadpool 2. I loved it. Glad to see you doing some Marvel before SJW videos again. Looking forward to rewatching later. Splato lives. Absolutely. Scrolling down some more. Blasted Heath just said Janet Reno is a hottie, since someone said Angela Merkel is hot. Thanks for the super chat, Slick Jimmy Speaks. Sorry about all the plugs. I love you, Sunny D. Thank you very much. Scrolling down. Sorry. What happened to Boogie? People are saying R.I.P. Boogie. I don't know what happened to Boogie. Scrolling down some more. Matt V says, Funny or Die needs to go away. It just seems so like 2005 style humor. It's really embarrassing. Nathaniel Lee, I've not seen the new Krypton. It looks cheap as hell. Like there's no imagination. They just have like generics. They just have like, oh my lap hijab is slipping off. They just have generic like military gear. Like what the hell? And they have these like regular guns. It's Krypton. It's supposed to be very fantastical. It's not supposed to be The Expanse or something like that. So, where is it? Riddler says Salt Lick is awesome, although Franklin's barbecue is a bit better. Rasmus says, does Zaxxon ever go with you to comic shops? He's usually with me, and he never ever wants to go out. You have to understand, he's been going to comic shops since he was like 1 year old, and he's not even really into comics. Like he'll read comics every now and then. He just doesn't care. So he told me flat out, like after he turned me down like the 10th time in a row, I go, "You're never gonna go into a comic store again." He's like, "Yeah, I don't ever want to go in one again." Scroll on some more. Thanks for another super chat, Michael Klump. Did you see Deadpool 2 yet? I thought it sucked. Really disappointed. Too many SJW jokes in it, like cultural appropriation. I haven't seen it. I don't like seeing movies when they come out. I like waiting a couple weeks till the theater's like almost empty. Other people liking the D&D cartoon from the 80s. Smart RN says, I have all the Dungeons & Dragons episodes on DVD. Nice. Joseph Cittadino says, longtime Dungeons & Dragons player. This is for the D&D cartoon and the amazing game it was based on. Play D&D, Zach. You won't regret it. I tried once in like the 5th grade, and then some kid was explaining. He's like, you roll this and you add these numbers together, and then you get this. I go, whoa, 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 whoa. I got to do math in this game? And I just dipped out like immediately. I never went back. Jesse N says, thanks for the super chat. He says, hi, I have the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon on DVD. Thanks for the super chat, Paul Dozier. Hi, Zach, what it do? What it do? It do what it do. That's how you answer that greeting. Why are people saying Boogie is dead? Costco52 says, missed the whole thing, didn't I? Yeah, it's like hour and 22 minutes, and I'm only like 8 minutes behind right now. Scrolling down some more. Smart RN1 says Franklin's barbecue is the best, but you have to wait 2 hours for it to open. Is that the one? I've seen the one, like, when I was in California, I'd see that in the news, and people, like, waiting all day in line. I was like, Scrolling down some more. Roxham says, that Federalist piece was very strange. Not typical of them to publish that crap. It was just weird, man. It was weird. Like, it was a BuzzFeed article on the Federalist just after they wrote a fair article. I was almost wondering if the first one got them some clicks. So they're like, let's put up another Jawbreakers article no matter what it says. And it was like a really trash article. Scrolling down some more. So Indie Dave Comics says they replaced Clayne Crawford with Stifler from American Pie. I'm watching Goon Last of the Enforcers, and that's from like 2 years ago. He's in really good shape there. I've heard two things. I've heard they're going to recast the role of Martin Riggs. I've also heard they're going to kill off Martin Riggs, and this is going to be a new character. That's what I would prefer. Fans of All Metal says, actually get Zach the license to do a Mission Impossible comic. I would absolutely love it. I don't think they do that. I think Tom Cruise has control over all of their, licensing and marketing. There was Ethan Hunt was actually in an issue of Captain America when the first movie came out, drawn by Rob Liefeld. I actually have a Mission Impossible-like story called Penetrators, and I might do Penetrators sometime in the next couple of years. Scrolling down some more. Ron Swanson's mustache. You can't pinch anything while doing that challenge. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Everyone thinks they can poop without peeing. Everyone does in real life. Everyone thinks you can do it. I thought I could do it. Everyone thinks they can do it. Try it. You will not be able to do it. And you have to count your entire bathroom visit. You can't poop and then stand up and then go, oh my God, I've got to pee. It means you go into that bathroom, you poop, and you never pee, you wash your hands, you leave, and you don't get to run back in 1 minute later. Nick Ecker Neku says, why didn't you like Ghost Protocol? Okay. They introduced a guy who would have been really cool on the team, that guy from Lost, and then he gets killed in like a lame way. He has a girlfriend who becomes a part of the team, but she wasn't that cool. It was the woman who was married to Robin Thicke. She just wasn't that good. They have Benji like in a server room on this stupid costume. Benji is like, oh, they made Benji a field agent, but then he was a goofball. And that annoyed the hell out of me because a field agent is like, it's like being in Delta Force. You shouldn't be able to just be some goofball and be a field agent. And then at the end, the big fist fight is Tom Cruise fist fighting like a 67-year-old man. It was stupid. You can't pinch anything, Nuclear Sandwich. No, there's no pinching. There's no cheating. This is an honorable man's challenge. Scrolling down some more. This is like the modern day equivalent of dueling. It's all on honor. Scrolling down some more. Pepsi break. Thanks for the super chat, Diversity in Comics Bear. You exposed multiple cabals, lenticular stunts, overships, and low Comicron numbers. You've cost pros prestige and money. They want revenge against you. I can see that. And I can understand that, but they need to rein their emotions in and not get majorly hemmed up in court like Mark Waid is. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Sorry. Doug B says, I went to see the Richard Donner cut of Superman 1 at the Alamo Draft House a couple weeks ago. Easiest and best 3 hours easily. I hate the Richard Donner cut so much. I hate it. Of Superman 2. They put that on DVD like 10 years ago. See you later, St. John the Philosopher. Scrolling down. Donald Gooch says, yeah, I read the Federalist regularly. I've never heard of Matt Battaglia. That literally seems like he just emailed someone. He's like, hey, I got this piece on Jawbreakers. I see the metrics on your first one did good. And they're just like, yeah, fine, whatever. Like it didn't match the site at all. It matched BuzzFeed. Scrolling down some more. Blasted Heath says, still can't believe there's actually a Lethal Weapon TV series. I watched maybe the first half of season 1, and I thought it was pretty good. Scrolling down some more. Penetrators. That's the name of my Mission Impossible kind of style story. I'm not changing the name for Penetrators. It's a part of the concept. Scrolling down. So Joshua Cochran says Special Agent Hunt, Heroes Reborn, Cap #1. Yep. That was so cool, and then they never repeated that in any way. Scrolling down some more. Jono84 does not like the name Penetrators. Michael Klump says, I think Paula Patton is super fine. She is super fine, but her character was just not that interesting. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Yeah, we're an hour and a half and we're getting a lot of, sentence fragments. I'm getting a little confused. Sorry. Oh my gosh. E-Guitarra says the Donner cut is not so good. The Donner cut felt like the Adam West, like Batman TV show for Superman. Jeff Meyer says the Donner cut does pretty much suck. Scrolling down some more. Slick Jimmy Speaks. I did see the the video of the Canadian woman who goes into a Tim Hortons and throws poop at the counter. Yeah. Galactus Planet Eater says, look at the comments on the Federalist Battaglia article, entirely in support of DNC and critical of Battaglia's shoddy research and his shock at the dark roast. Yeah, that was stupid. Scrolling down some more. Kevin Chan says, Zach, what's your favorite Punisher run? Reading Jason Aaron's Punisher Max right now, so dope. Steve Dallin makes Frank look like Stallone. My favorite run on the Punisher is Mike Barron and Will Sportatio on Punisher. Also, Mike Barron with Eric Larson did a really, really good storyline. Scrolling down some more. Sorry. Travis Kraft says, I hated the Donner cut. A lot of hype about it, though. Man, in fandom for like 20 years, the Donner cut just got hyped and hyped and hyped. And then it came out on DVD. Actually, it came out on DVD, I think like 12, 15 years ago. And man, it sucked. Scrolling down some more. Koska52 says, I like that a younger pic of you is rotating out there now. Lots of people are going to be surprised later. There's this pic of me from like 10 years ago that now people are attaching on articles. Thanks for the super chat, Joshua Cochran. Donner cut like Donner Party, yum. Nah, this is a bad cut of a movie. Scrolling down. So, wait, what is this? Just That Awesome says, Zach, have you seen this writer trying to sabotage his own work because the publisher congratulated Jawbreakers? Not sure what you're talking about. Chris Stapps Houdat says, do you like the Preacher TV show? I've never seen it. I think I saw like 5 minutes of it and it looked kind of cheap. Michael Klump, would you want to see a She-Hulk comedy in the MCU at some point? I want this to happen. I say either Olivia Wilde or Allison Brie. That's interesting. I haven't. I think that can be good. Illyrian Horizon says, I'm so tired of soy boys being fake offended by the dark rose. Yeah, I'm just like, okay, just whatever, dude. It doesn't even annoy me. It's just like, you sound stupid. Scrolling down some more. Oh, I'm almost caught up. Sorry. Oh, am I caught up? I'm caught up. All right, great. Well, thanks for everyone for showing up. Thanks to everyone who gave us super chats. 687 people on a Sunday night chat, and I'll have more new comic reviews. Please tell the SJW Comic Pros to not do any stupid stuff over the next 3 days. I've got like 12 comics that I want to get through in the next 3 days. So thanks for watching. Bye.